Hey, my friends, it's me, Matty D, on the renamed channel, Coaching with Matty D. The reason being is that I started up another channel that's going to all be about credit and money from a spirit and feeling perspective. So you're a person who would like to understand how credit works and improve your experience with money, so you don't have to worry about it and just be cool with it. There is a link below in the description here where you can schedule a free consultation. Let's do that and then we'll talk. So, this video, COVID-19 and the holiday and the 2020 holiday season. I'm going to start this off, and who's this video for? This video is going to help you maintain your freaking sanity for the last October, November, 3 months, the last quarter of this year. And this year, say at least, has been very boring. It's been very, for a lot of people, shitty. Absolutely shitty, because the lockdowns have kept us at home. Some places, home isn't great. But for you watching this, if you've been stuck at home with parents driving you nuts, these lockdowns haven't been really good for you. They've just, if anything, it just made you feel like I'm in hell. But there's value in that, and I'm going to show you in this video, or at the end, but in this video, how you can use those emotions that you've been avoiding for this entire time, and deal with them, feel them out, and dissolve them, so that you'll get your sanity back, and you can go into this holiday season feeling 10 times better. And I'm warning you, you're not going to get any tactics or how to talk, whatever, because I'm telling you right now, what I'm going to tell you, what I'm going to share with you, it's going to get to the root cause of it. So this way, when the root cause of it goes, everything else will flow. Your behavior will change, your thoughts will change, your speaking will change. And if someone and whatever someone says to you that used to trigger you won't, or if they say something different, you'll have the tools to deal with it, and it's a lot better going in something knowing you got the tools, you're prepared, versus not and going like, fuck, what do I do? So I'm gonna start this off with a story. I warn you, it's gonna be a long video, but if you watch the way through, you will come out of it going, okay, there's hope for me. Forget hope. You got a fucking like real world solution to helping you out. And this story starts with Christmas Day, Christmas of 2012. Because if you ever wanted, and I started here because if you ever wanted to just yell at your mom or dad or brother, sisters, whatever the case may be, and just really go at them and just say whatever's on your mind, be like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, I hate you, you didn't know, you abused me, all that stuff, right? Well, I've done that. And because you'll do it in your mind, it's called emotional shadowboxing, where you make up scenarios where you just finally tell your mom and dad, whoever you have an issue with, really what's on your mind, how you feel. And done that, and the truth of the matter is, doesn't really make anything better. Ironically enough, you would think it does, because you feel like you might come out of it and be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna tell you. It doesn't. And here's the story. So 8 years ago, Christmas of 2012. At the time, I thought I was okay with my mother, meaning I thought I was like completely, like, not over her, but I felt like I dealt with all the anger and stuff within me. So Christmas Eve, I'm down the street at my friend Sylvie's house, and they're Hispanic, and they celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. They had music, food, taking shots, we're dancing, having a good old time. I'm like, hell yeah. I walked back home. It's like 2 a.m. Now, at the time, I'm thinking like, my sister and I were in our 20s. We're not gonna wake up early. I thought like we're gonna sleep in, chill, and just have a good time. And I plan to get up and go run the next day before we eat. Okay, fine, whatever. So the next morning, which came really quick, I was like, shit. I'm not a morning person, by the way. Get it from my mom. My sister's like, yo, it's time to wake up, mommy, breakfast. And I'm like, I think to myself like, fuck you, I don't care, I'm sleeping. And I was like, whatever. I stay asleep. Sometime later, she comes back. Man, you wake up. What are we doing at the breakfast? And I was like, leave me alone. And I remember at some point, the second time she came to get me, her and I got into a fight. We started arguing and yelling. My mom comes upstairs and she's like, what are you doing? Stop arguing. What are you doing? She was like, I made breakfast. It's time to eat. And that's where things just went downhill. Because I told my mom, I said, no, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to run. And she goes, no, you're going to eat. And I went, no, I'm not. I'm going to run, then I'll eat. She goes, no, you're going to eat. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to run and then eat. Because I'm like, what, 26 at that point? 26, 25. move to her house, live on my own. I'm thinking to myself, like, who the fuck are you can tell me what to do? Like, nah, you ain't tell me to do shit. Like, go ahead and try, see what happens. I was ready to like just go off on her. So she then's like, no, you're gonna eat. I'm like, no, I'm not. And mind you, I'm standing in the doorway of what was my room, what was my room, growing up. And she goes, get in your room. You're gonna get in your room. I look up, I like look down, look at my feet, and I'm like, yeah, I am in my room. She goes, get in your room. I'm like, I am, because technically speaking, I am. I'm outside. You didn't get in the room. You need to sit down. I was like, no, I'm not. I said, no, I'm not going to do this. We're going to talk. I'm not going to sit down because mom's shorter than me. So what she likes to do is to get this power over you by making you sit down when she's standing. It's like such an insecure, it's so stupid. I get why. It's still stupid. Anyways, and I remember we're going back and forth yelling, and then my mom says, this is why I don't respect you. This is why I don't want you in my house. And I was like, low blow. And I forget which part came first. She said that, or she starts pushing me. So Lily starts pushing me to have me sit on my bed. I'm like, I'm not sitting down. I'm not sitting down. Have my arms up. I'm trying to defending myself. I didn't hit her at all. Defending myself. She keeps pushing me. Then she starts hitting me like with her fist. Starts hitting my shoulder. I'm like, don't hit me. I remember she's pushing me and she goes, don't you hit me. I'm like, I'm not hitting you. You're literally pushing me. And I'm like defending myself. I'm like, stop. She starts hitting me a couple times with her fist. Like it was whack. That didn't work. Then she found a long tube of the paper and tried to hit me with that. I can laugh now, but then it was like such an intense moment. She's hitting me, and I'm like, what? I remember grabbing it, grabbing it, throwing it on the ground. She picked it up again, tries to hit me, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, holy shit, is this really going down right now? She's fucking hitting me? It's crazy. Throw it back down, and then words exchanged. She said stuff, and I'm like, trying to hold back tears. I was so pissed and heated, like, how is she gonna fucking hit me and do this shit? And I was like, fuck it. And so I ended up grabbing some stuff. I didn't get all my stuff because I forgot some things. And she went downstairs at some point. I think my sister was trying to console my mother. So I remember my mom I remember before I left, my mom said some very hurtful things, like below the belt, where she's like, this is why I don't respect you. This is why I don't want you in my house. And I was kind of like, so I don't want to be in your house. Like, fuck you, basically, right? So, me being the smart man that I am at that time, with a really good comeback, Don DeMarco, for any rap fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about as I say this. I walk down the steps. My mom and sister are like behind me on the sofa. I turn around. I look at my mom. Before I close the door, I said, I see why Dad divorced you. Slammed the door shut, and I was like, fuck you. And I walk across the street, and I yell, fucking bitch. I turn around, and I see my mom had opened the door. I don't know why. And I was looking at me across the street, and I was going across the street crying, just crying. I was hurt. I was sad. I was angry. I went to my friend Sylvia's house, told her what happened. I was like, this is crazy. And from that experience, I became aware of like, well, there's still a lot of hurt inside. I didn't go to therapy at that time. Thought that was the best thing for me, which it was to a degree. And all I know is that after that experience, it definitely didn't bring my mother and I close together. It just further strained the relationship. From there, I wasn't again allowed to stay over at the house because the following Christmas 2 years later, my mother allowed my sister to spend the night Christmas Eve, but I could come by. But then I had to go back home where I was living at the time and come back the next day. And I was kind of like, this is bullshit. And I remember I was like, oh, it's because what happened 3 years prior or whatever. And, I understand if you're watching this, you want to go off on your mom and whomever. And if you choose to do so, which you can, just know that, it's not going to make anything better. You're probably not going to feel better. You may find some relief at best, but it's not going to change anything. It's not going to give you what you really want, okay? Because what you really want is to feel better. You want to be liberated from the pain, from the anger, and the fear that you have around your parents. That's what you want to be free from that. When you're free from it, holy shit, man, everything in life gets better. You can look at them and go, okay, that's them. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand it, but that's okay. Because I'm my own person. They are too. I love them. I'll forgive them and honor them from a distance. When you do that, whoo, man. And if they do something that pisses you off, you have the tools to deal with it. You're like, whatever. Deal with the emotion. Move on. I'm telling you, shit works. So, you have a choice. Go off this year, your family, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and make everything and keep creating the hell that you keep experiencing, and just make things worse. You want to. It's very tempting. You don't want it the hard way. Some of you may choose that. Or do what I'm going to share with you right now. Here's how to make this whole season work 10 times better. Okay? And it's not going to be something that you may at first may not believe, but I'm telling you it works. I do it. And I've been doing it, and it makes a hell of a difference. It all starts with becoming present. You're like, what the fuck? Present. Meaning it starts with proper breathing that keeps you present. Because when you breathe properly, okay, you balance both hemispheres of your brain, so you have a whole brain state. You also oxygenate the body. You're also going to bring in air or release air that's been trapped inside you for years, and bring in a new air, so you oxygenate the body, okay? And you're also going to balance the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, and this creates presence, which means you can choose peace, you can be present. And then from there, what you simply do is feel the emotions that you've been avoiding since you were young. The fear you felt around mom or dad, the anger you have, the sadness that you feel from them, or not from them, but from them, the trauma you felt, and anything else in your life, that's the secret sauce. Dealing with that stuff then allows you to expand and just experience more life and get what you want, or to do what you want, experience more of what you want, okay, to say the least. And so to do this, it's real simple. I'm going to demonstrate it, okay? First thing you want to do, get comfy. And the way you're going to breathe, you're not going to breathe up here with the chest and shoulders. You're going to breathe with the diaphragm. You're going to breathe with your stomach. So you're going to breathe in. As you breathe in, you're going to breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Okay, and as you breathe in, your stomach's going to expand. So to help you out, put your hands on your stomach. Your stomach's going to expand like this. And as you exhale, your stomach contracts. So put your hands there. You want to practice this. You want to master this so that you start doing it on your own. Because fun fact, I read this in an article years ago. When you're first born, little babies and kids, we breathe using our diaphragms. At some point, we switched to chest breathing, which I tried doing the other day and I can't do it because I switched back to breathing with your diaphragm, and it's like tough to do. But do it. It's worth it. The other thing too is this: as you start to do this, okay, you want to have the inhale and exhale be of equal length. So I'm gonna do this now. When you first start doing this, since you're bringing in new oxygen and you haven't really worked your lungs, your breathing capacity to this, you may feel lightheaded, and that's okay. Keep going because you're bringing more oxygen than your body's used to. Because normally when you breathe, it's like this. You're bringing about this much oxygen, and you're like, but when you start bringing more, and you do it like this, watch. On the inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So, as you do that, now you also want to push it just a little bit more. So you're going to breathe in all the way till you can't, and exhale until there's no air left, and keep going. So as you do this, what you're also working on is bring in more liters of air, breathing in more liters of air than more liters of air, I guess, gallons that you're used to. So, for example, let's just keep it in liters. Let's say per hour you're used to breathing in like 3 liters of air. And by doing this, you're going to start breathing in 3.5 liters of air. And as you push the inhale and the exhale to go longer, that the amount of air that you bring in is going to expand. So let's say you go from 3 to 3.5 liters, then to 4 liters, then eventually you get to 4.5, then 5, and 6, and so forth. This is where the secret is. This is the key to all this stuff. Becoming present to being centered, to choosing peace. Because as when you're doing this, then you can do the next thing here. Where you think about a moment that your parents pissed you off, made you sad, where it is, or you know that you think of what's coming up now and you start getting like afraid or sad or mad about it, here's what you do. Do the breathing, you become present like I just did, and then think of some incident that brings up anger, fear, or sadness. If it's anger, check this. If it's anger, whichever one it is, feel where it is in your body. Is it maybe your neck? You may feel it's in your head, your chest, stomach, wherever it is in your body. Put your hands there and feel it all the way through, and bring love to it. Literally, if you have to hug yourself, okay? You're literally healing the little child, the little boy, or little girl that's in you, that's been wanting your love and attention for years. All right? Sounds weird. It's not what you taught. It's not what's practiced and everything else. But I'm telling you, if you do this, it will change your life. The breathing alone will change your life. I've been doing it. It's crazy how this one simple thing brings so much awareness and change to who you are, and everything else is, okay? So, you feel it to completion, and here's what you do. Whether it's anger, fear, or sadness, let's say it's in your chest, you feel it as you're breathing, like I described. You're like, oh, I feel anger. Well, what's the anger? Is anger on a scale from 1 to 10 or 1 to 100? What is it? Is it an 8 or an 80? Is it 7? Is it 5? Whatever it is, be like, okay, it's 7. You breathe, breathe and feel. You say present with that emotion. You say present with the anger, and then you check in. Okay, where is it right now? Oh, it's a 3. It's a 3. Great. 2 to 1, 0, and you'll know when it's gone because you'll feel this relief and change. You'll go, oh, I feel so much better. Now, one thing about anger, especially for us men watching this, we tend to use anger to cover up the sadness we feel and the fear. It's like somehow we're trained to go right to anger. And here's the thing. If you're a woman watching this applies to you too. But for the men, we'll take the anger and just run with it. Here's the thing. If there's anger that you feel, I'm willing to bet most of the time, there's sadness or fear right beneath it. So if there's anger, you feel the anger, and then you can ask yourself this question like, what emotion is beneath this anger? Is it fear that I'm feeling, or is it sadness? And as you feel that, and if it's just anger, just feel it out. But most likely there'll be some sadness that's been covering it. You feel that sadness, you love yourself wherever it is, you breathe out to completion, you feel it, boom. And if you continue to do this over and over, you'll see a change in yourself, and you'll see a change in your life. As far as what point, I don't know, it's different for everybody, but as you do this, you will be able to do things that you thought you couldn't do. You'll be able to be more present. And if you do this, going into holiday season, having the tools, one, if you start practicing, so you start working on this now, what they say to you won't bother you. And then if they do, you have the tool to deal with it. It'll make a huge difference where you won't just have your sanity. You'll keep that, but more importantly, you'll be at peace. Peace with yourself. And that's really what you want. Because when you're at peace with yourself, you leave people alone. You're like, well, it's whatever. All right, cool, man. Love you too. Peace. Literally, peace. I made it funny. It'll be peace with who you are. And that's really, really what you want. And here's another thing before I wrap this up. What if the possibility is that the people that you have an issue with, your mom or your dad, whomever it is, what if they're just reflecting what's going on within you? You're like, that's bullshit. Well, if you think it's bullshit, can you prove that that's also not the case? Can't. Really. So, but let's then it's a possibility that that's what's happening. Because if that's the case, all right, if it is, there's a possibility. If they're just simply reflecting what's going on within you, guess what you can do? You can change their reflection. Oh, This goes to anything else in your life. For, you got a problem with money. And it's just reflecting what's going on within you in regards to money. Change your reflection. Your body weight, image, whatever it is, change your reflection. You do that, ooh, things change. Amazing. Hey, what a concept. I know, right? But yeah, you do that because that's the case. Because here's the thing. You can't control what anyone else does. Mom or dad does, whatever. You can't. And when you do this enough, you get to the point where you'll be like, I don't know what they're doing, and it's fine. I don't need to know. It's none of my business. And if they do something that causes a stir within you, become present and breathe through the emotion. And here's a little challenge. For 5 minutes from your phone, just sit there, breathe, become present, put a smile on your face as you do it. Do some background music with no talking. 2 or 5 minutes, and trust me, you'll feel great. And if you think that's too much or too little, trust me, once you get into it, you're like, oh, this is great. Do it for 10 minutes. And just be like, oh, and as you're breathing and you're feeling great, you're feeling relaxed and you're smiling, ask yourself these questions like, when is this feeling available to me, and how much more of this feeling is available to me? You're not asking these questions for an answer, you're asking them to continue to experience the feeling that you want, because that's how you want to feel. Because relaxing is your natural state. That's what it is. Pure end of story. So, with that being said, if you watch the video all the way through, congratulations. We should talk more and help you out. Please like this video if you got some value out of it, and comment in below and let me know what your thoughts are. That being said, my friend, I love you. You're not jacked up. You're not fucked up. You eternal love. You're an infinite human being. Here to have an experience. I'm here to the best of my ability, help you remember that and help you experience that, so you know what power you have and what you can do. And you experience anything that you want right now. It's not hard. It's very simple. So that being said, my friend, I'll see you next video. Peace.